गंधार्विक गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार श्रील भक्ति विज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत श्रील गौर किशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विश्वचल भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विश्वचल भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विश्वचल भक्ति दायित माधव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोसाई महाराज की जाय। All the associates of Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, and all the disciples and followers of those associates ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki jai. Okay, I'll do a short Mangala Charan and then begin. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Let's recite the Pranam Mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Goswami Maharaj and his introduction, his Mangalacharan verse for Bhagavad-gītā. Devyam devyatanung suchandavadana balarkache lanchitam sandranandapuram sareka vairagya vidyam buddhim Shri Siddhanta nidhim subhakti lasitam saraswatanam varam Vande tang shubhadam areka sharanam nyashishwaram Śrīdharam. Vande Shri Guru Gaurango Radha Govinda Sundaro Sagano Giyate Chata Gita Gurartha Gauravam. Alright, let's go to this one. Sarvo Panishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gītāmṛtam Mahat. Okay, so Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji if she's there, Rukmini Didi, Ganga Mataji. See, there are 7 devotees. Oh, Amit Dandekar. See, there are 7 devotees on YouTube and Facebook. If you write a comment, I'll see who you are. I'll see your name. But Dandavat Pranams to all of you. And pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jai Dev Prabhu, Krishna Rose, Ananda Pradayini, Vrinda Didi, and everybody else. Hari Bol. I'm guessing Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji are also there right now. Hari Bol. Okay, so we are continuing our reading of this beautiful book it's compiled from different talks that Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Mahārāja gave on 30 verses from Bhagavad-gītā. It's called Gītāmṛtam, and it's available on, I'm reading the Kindle version. It's not so expensive, only 150 rupees if anybody wants to get it on Amazon. And there's also a nice printed edition with like gold leaf plate, paper, like what do you call it? Yeah, anyways. Alright, so I think yesterday we made it up to the 8th drop of nectar. Yeah. Okay. Ye yatamang prapadyante. Oh, sorry. This is Bhagavad-gītā 4:11. Ye yatamang prapadyante tangstataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. In whatever way people surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. O Partha, all men follow my path. Haribo Anadi Krishna Prabhu. Illumination. The quality of our... in whatever way people surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. All men follow my path. Okay. The quality of our inner hankering, that is all in all. Even an ignorant man may be directed properly, and a scholarly man may have no real direction. There is sincerity, and the quality of sincerity is dependent on sukriti. And the quality of sukriti is acquired from Vaishnavas in our previous birth. The quality of sukriti will guide us. So what will guide us? Our sukriti, not just our intellect, our intelligence, how much we know. No, even an ignorant man may be directed properly, and a scholarly man may have no real direction. We find 3 kinds of dealings in the case of our attainment of Krishna. The general case is found in Gita, Ye yata mang prapadyante. Whoever approaches me in whatever spirit, I react with him accordingly. If he approaches me with a challenging mood, I also approach him with a challenging mood, such as with the demons. If he approaches me in a simple way, I also deal with him in a simple way. In any way you approach me, I shall respond similarly. This is my general conduct. This is my general conduct. But there is a special case also. Śrīla Gosvāmī says, Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam daivam priya kulapati kvachat kinkarova astvena manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo muktim dadati karhichit smam na bhakti yogam. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 5:6-18. It says, O king, Mukunda is certainly the protector of the Pandava and Yadu dynasties. He is their guru, worshipable deity, and dearmost friend. He even sometimes acts as a messenger or servant. He sometimes gives liberation, but he does not give bhakti to all those who worship him. He sometimes gives liberation, but he does not give bhakti to all those who worship him. Sometimes I deceive people. This is Krishna speaking. Sometimes I deceive people. They formally ask for my devotion, but I give them mukti and dismiss them because I can see their innermost quarter. There is something else. Ostentatiously, someone is praying for devotion, but I detect something else in him, and I give him salvation and dismiss him. And there's also another side. So Krishna says again, he is very sincere at heart, but he has no regulated way of prayer. He does not know how to formally petition me. In that case, I overlook his superficial faults and correct him, saying, You have prayed for this thing, but I think you want something else, is it not? You correct it and pray for this, and I will grant that. We find these three corresponding types of conduct in relation to him in the scripture, and we have to adjust with that. In these three types of dealings, one is general and two are particular. One is general, one is for deception, and another is an amendment of ignorance. These are there, and accordingly, we have to be careful about our sincerity. There is a saying, Murko vadati vishnaya, dhiro vadati vishnave, ubhayostu samang punyam, bhava grahi janardana. This is a great verse. At the time of offering respects to Vishnu, this is from the Narad Pancharatra, it says, at the time of offering respects to Vishnu, a fool chants Vishnaya Namaha, and a scholar chants Vishnave Namaha. But both achieve equal merit because Lord Janardhan sees the devotee's sentiment. Because in the dative case, it looks, most things are Vishnaya, Vasudevaya. That looks like, that would be what you would just guess. But actually, because of some Sanskrit rules, it becomes Vishnave. So, a fool chants Vishnaya Namaha, but a scholar chants Vishnave Namaha, but they both achieve equal merit because Lord Janardhan sees devotees' sentiments. Bhav Grahi Janardana. Okay, so, Murko Vadati Vishnaya. A man uneducated in Sanskrit says Vishnaya Namaha. But the correct grammatical form will be Vishnave Namaha, not Vishnaya. An uneducated priest, he does not know so much. So he says Vishnaya Namaha. And Dhiro Vadati, a scholar, will correctly pronounce Vishnave. Ubhayostu samang punyam bhavgrahi janardana. But Janardhan accepts things according to the heart's nature, not according to the words. In the Bhagavat, Narad tells Vyasadeva, Dadvag visargo janata gopiplavo yasmin prati shlokam abhaddavatyapi namanyanantasya yashonkitani yach shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. The use of words which, though not perfectly composed, contain the names of the Lord and describe his glories that devotees hear, sing, and again receive, destroys the sins of all people. This is from the first canto of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, chapter 5, verse 11. Grammatical and other ornamental mistakes are overlooked by the Lord. He reads the heart. The language of the heart is all in all. Tad vag visargo janataga viplavo. Sins will be removed, washed away by those words which are grammatically full of mistakes, but surcharged with the very spirit of devotion. On the other hand, there is the opposite shloka. Nayad vachas chitra padam harer yasho jagat pavitram pragranitya karhichit tadvaya sankirtam ushanti manasa nayatra hangsa niramantyusik kshaya. Those attractive words, this is the verse right before it in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, so 1:5-10. Those attractive words that do not describe the glories of the Lord who purifies the whole world are considered by devotees who are always remembered by him to be a place of pilgrimage for crows. Perfected beings who are like swans living in the beautiful lake of the divine abode find no pleasure there. The style and the language is very beautiful, but if you dive deep, you will find no mention about the glories of the Lord. The language is of an ornamental, dignified style, but it is lifeless. So Narad told Vyasadeva, whatever it may be, the substance must be Krishna. You must be very careful to do that. Then it is all right. The outward show, that is nothing. That is misguiding. The heart is accepted, not the brain. Ignore the ornamental, but accept the substance within. That should be the aim of our life. Okay, now the 9th drop of nectar, Bhagavad-gītā 4:13. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram api mang vidya kartaram avyayam. I have created the four social divisions that are determined by the influence of the modes of material nature and their parallel activities. Although I have created this arrangement, I know that in reality I am the non-doer and that I am unchangeable. Illumination. Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī has written that the ordinary sadhus, the yogis, the brahmanas, the shankarites, and those of other schools have all concluded that by dint of one's knowledge, one's yoga, or one's devotion, the results of all previous actions can be destroyed. All, that is, save and except prarabdha karma. Those actions prarabdha karma, which is those actions that have determined one's present body and are already attached to the body from before this birth. The Bhakti school disagrees. Oh, and there's a verse from Namashtak on that. Just look really quickly. I'll just show you really quickly. 1 second. Where's Namashtak? Here. Uh, 738. There it is. This verse right here. Yad Brahma Shakshar Kriti Nishtayapi Vinashamayati Vina Nabhogai Apaiti Nama Spuranena Tatte Prarabdha Karmiti Varoti Veda. this is Rupa Gosvāmī. He says, even after attaining fixed direct perception of Brahma, one's prarabdha karma, one's fructified reactions, is not destroyed without one's undergoing it. But O Nam, by your manifestation on the tongue, that prarabdha karma is completely eradicated. This is loudly proclaimed by the Vedas. So, yes. So all one's reactions, that is, save and except prarabdha karma, are destroyed by these different processes of, what were they? Yoga and so on. One's knowledge, one's yoga, or one's devotion. They say that everything is destroyed except for prarabdha karma. The Bhakti school disagrees. We say that by the power of Krishna Nam, even the impurities attached to one's birth, race, creed, caste, or any other thing can be done away with completely. It is not possible by yoga, jnana, or any other thing. But by Krishna Nam, all impurities can be obliterated, even prarabdha karma. When all prarabdha karma is purified, then one comes to the position of the highest birth, that of the Brahmana. Srila Jiva Goswami says that at this point, one comes to the status of a Brahman boy. A Brahman boy is not considered eligible to do the work of a Brahmana until and unless he is given the sacred thread and mantra. When he is invested with Upanaya Samskar, only then is he eligible to worship Narayan, perform sacrifice, and carry out other duties reserved for Brahmanas. By taking the holy name, we are purified and attain the position of a Brahman boy. But Srila Jiva Goswami points out, because we do not find any system to give the sacred thread to those not born in Brahmin families, we may have to wait until our next birth to perform Brahminical worship. Jiva Goswami admits that whatever caste one may be whatever caste one may be, if we take the name of Krishna, then we discard any defects of birth and attain the position of a Brahmin lad. Continuing this line of thought, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, there is no harm in giving those not born in Brahmin families the sacred thread. Our Guru Maharaj came to introduce that. He said that two things were indulged by not introducing the sacred thread initiation. First, those who receive Vaishnava initiation may think that they are situated lower than the Brahmanas. On the contrary, they should understand that they are no longer in a lower position and that they are fit to perform all the various services. Second, the so-called Brahmanas, who are proud of their body consciousness, may think that those who have received Vaishnava Diksha are situated lower. Thus, they commit offenses against the Vaishnavas. A beautiful song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on this topic. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami boldly came forward to introduce this Upanaya Samskar system so that Brahmins and other so-called higher castes should not have the opportunity to commit Vaishnava aparad, and so that those who have received the Vaishnava mantra should not consider themselves lower and unfit for Brahminical worship. There is no contradiction with the rules of Shastra. According to Siddhanta, it is not wrong to invest Vaishnavas with the sacred thread, but there is no system previously established. Our Guru Maharaj established that. Rukmini Didi is asking which song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is that? One second, I'll find it. Won't take long to find. It is in chapter 13, Instructions to the Mind, in the Upadesh section. Here. This is the InDesign file. I'm just in the middle of entering in the very final corrections before the song goes to the printers. Yeah, it's this one. Song 9 in Upadesh. This is the first section of Kalyana Kalpataru. It's Manare Keno Ar Varna Abhiman. It's 856. 856. There. This one. O minds, why do you still have caste-related ego? If you die a sinner, the agents of death will still carry you away. with no regard to your caste. If you perform good deeds, you'll enjoy the pleasures of heaven hereafter. In this regard, a Brahman and a Chandal are equal. Even in hell, both will reap the same punishments, and their next births will be determined by the same standards. Why then do you have the ego of trivial caste pride, especially since it only lasts till death? Do not seek out hell by occupying a high caste and detesting other castes. And then Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka, he gives this footnote here, that famous verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 7:9-10, Viprad Vishad Guna Yudar Arvinda Nava Padaravinda. And Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka, he writes in this footnote, he says, that means even if a Brahman possesses the 12 Brahminical qualities, and it goes to these 12 qualities of a Brahman, but lacks devotion to Krishna, a Chandal possessing bhakti is superior to him. This should be understood. And then he says, "Oh brother, while maintaining your social prestige as a Brahman, do not disrespect the Vaishnavas. A ginger merchant who is wise and can understand his limited economic scope would never engage in aggressive trade with a cargo ship." And that's, at first I translated this in a different way, Adar Vyapari Hoye. But then I saw this is actually a common, a common parable in Bengali, illustrating the folly of challenging someone beyond one's capacity. Because nobody had, ginger merchant, I guess you don't have massive quantities of ginger. And so you wouldn't engage in aggressive trade with a cargo ship. Something like that, I don't know. Okay. So then, but if you strive as best you can to develop devotion to Krishna, then that will be like borax on gold, giving it a bright shine. You will earn your sacred thread and be detached from all attainments in this life and the next. Bhakti Vinod will sing your praises. All right. So, and there's also another song actually, idiom. Sorry. Yeah. There's also. Maybe I should change it there then. Bengali parable. Okay. But then there's also another song. What is it? There's another one. Eman ki kore varanakul by Premananda Das Thakur. It is after Dushtamanthamiki Sera Vaishnav. This one. Eman ki kore varanakul. Oh mind, what does caste or pedigree really do for you? No matter what kind of family one is born into, the only real foundation is bhakti. The monkey race became glorious because of the heroic Hanuman, foremost of Sri Ram's devotees. Though born a Rakshasa, Vibhishan sits amidst the Lord's assembly. Prahlad was born in the lineage of Daityas and upheld his fame in the world. Nrihari appeared from a crystal pillar being under his control. Though a Chandal, Guhaka, the best among Chandals, became a friend of Ram's. Tell me, what was Vidura's caste? Still, the Lord ate at his house. Just see how the cowherd women of Gokul perform a sadhan. Of what use to them were caste, lineage, or religious conduct? Hari belongs to whoever worships him. Everyone has the right to worship Śrī Kṛṣṇa, in which pride in one's birth or family has no place. Premananda says, brother, whoever takes pride in such things is a complete fool. Nitanta Muraka Bhai. Okay, so, according to Siddhanta, it is not wrong to invest Vaishnavas with a sacred thread, but there is no system previously established. Our Guru Maharaj established that. Brahmananam sahasrebhya satra yaji vishishyate satra yaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta paraga sarva vedanta vitkotya vishnu bhakto vishishyate vaishnavanam sahasrebhya ekanteko vishishyate. Out of many thousands of brahmanas, one who performs sacrifice for Vishnu is best. Out of thousands of such yogic brahmanas, one who knows the meaning of Vedanta is best. but of millions of such Vedantists, a devotee of Vishnu is best. And out of thousands of Vishnu Bhaktas, one who is an unalloyed devotee of Vishnu is the best. That's from the Garuda Puran. Generally, we may accept the flesh consideration. It is not an accidental thing. It is based on the principle of sattva gun. But Hari Bhakti is nirgun, transcendental. It is according to the degree of devotion to Vishnu. Real Varnashram has been based on this principle. From the extreme standpoint, it is only guna karma vibhagasha. It is only based on qualities and activities. If we give the final consideration to this flesh and bone, only, then we are wrong. Then we do not recognize the very spirit given in the Bhagavatam. Yasya yal lakshanam puroktam pungso varna bhivyanjakam yadanyatrapi drishyeta tat tenaiva vinirdishet. One who exhibits the characteristics of a particular varna, a brahmana, a kshatriya, vaishya, or shudra, as described, even if he has appeared in a different class, should be accepted according to those symptoms. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 7:11-35. When Devarshi Narad was speaking about dharma in the court of Yudhishthira Mahārāja, this topic is probably, all of these things are probably very familiar to Rukmini Didi, who wrote the book Career Dharma. Yeah. So when Devarshi Narad was speaking about dharma in the court of Yudhishthira Mahārāja, he described the lakshans, the symptoms of a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra. Their ideals are different according to their position. Now, if we find the nature of someone of a particular varna that is of another type, that should be given recognition, just as in the case of Parashuram. He was the son of a brahmana, but his attitude was that of a kshatriya. So, Parashuram should be given recognition as a kshatriya, not a brahmana. At the same time, Vishvamitra came from the kshatriya school, but his nature was that of a brahmana. So he should be given recognition as a brahmana. This is the purport of what Narad said. I'm just remembering the article that we read by Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara about Javala and Satyakama, right? A brahmana's qualities are mentioned there. The gunas are present there in his mind. Brahma janatiti brahmana. That means the qualification has been written there. Brahma janatiti brahmana. That person who knows Brahma, the absolute truth, that person is a brahmana. One who is conscious of spiritual substance, he is a brahmana. And that is the real criterion. Not that one who is born a brahman, he is a brahmana. Just as a doctor's son may not be a doctor, but he has the facility of becoming a doctor, so from his childhood he is seeing those bottles, the medicine, the test tubes, all these things. He has some experience. But still, if he's an idiot, he should not be considered as a doctor. A brahmana's son means that by some previous good karma, he has the chance of being born in a brahmana family and gets the facility of seeing and coming in contact with all of these things. But in spite of that, if he becomes an atheist, he should not be considered a Brahman any longer. God has made this principle of guna karma vibhagasha. It is not that a Brahman son is a Brahmana, a Shudra son is a Shudra. Then what is the meaning of guna karma vibhagasha? I have created on this principle of guna karma. According to his quality and his practice, I have divided. That is Daiva Varnashram. And the other is Shokra Varnashram, or Asura Varnashram, which lays much stress on the body and not the inner existence. So there's the divine Varnashram and Shokra, that means seminal Varnashram, or Asura Varnashram, demon Varnashram. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha came from Brahmin descent, but they are considered asuras. Ravan was also a Brahmin son, but he was a Rakshasa. So a flesh Brahman is not a real Brahman. The qualities of a Brahman must be acquired first. That's a very nice one. Okay, so 10th drop of nectar. This is Bhagavad-gītā 4:34. Oh, this is a great verse. Guru Tattva, how we approach our Guru. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Oh, and I'm seeing, I didn't look at the comments for a while. I see Dandavat Pranams, Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, and Vidya Lala Sadidi, and Jayadev Prabhu, Haribol. Okay. So, oh, and Champak Mataji, Haribol. Okay. Tadvidni pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to understand this knowledge by approaching a self-realized person who has seen the truth. He's tattvadarshinaha. Make submissive inquiry and render service unto him. The Tattvadarshi, the seer of the truth, will instruct you and give you initiation into this sacred path. So there's Pranipat, Pariprashna, and Seva. These three things. Pranipat, Pariprashna, and Seva. Illumination. One should approach the spiritual master for general guidance, to get the proper standpoint in life. That is the most important thing we can get from the Guru. The standpoints we get from our ordinary lives may come from anywhere and everywhere, but that may mislead us and misguide us. We must be very particular about getting the proper direction. That direction is given in Bhagavad-gītā. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. We must be very particular about getting the proper direction. That only comes from Shri Guru. The Lord has given us this general guidance of where we should try to get the standpoint or measure through which we are to understand. The standard by which we come to measure truth, untruth, or anything must come from a real plane, not a vitiated plane, ordinary plane, or vulnerable plane. I always have a hard time saying vulnerable. Vulnerable. It must come from that plane which has two qualifications, Gyan and Tattvadarsha. So it's Gyaninas Tattvadarshinaha. So there's Gyan and Tattvadarsha. That means the conception of the thing, Gyan, and also the practical benefit. It's actually understood the truth. He's seen the truth. It's not just a theoretical thing. But the proper standard will allow me to measure what is right and what is wrong. Also, the qualification of the seeker of truth is so that's who you take shelter of, somebody who has real knowledge and who has seen the truth. And then also the qualification of the seeker of truth is given. So the seeker of the truth, his attitude must be of this type: Pranipat, Pariprashna, and Seva. Pranipat means surrender to such knowledge. The knowledge we are approaching is not an ordinary class of knowledge. It is a subject which we cannot make an object to our subjective self. We must understand it to be a super-subjective thing, which is superior to me. Pranipat means I must surrender to that superior thing. I want him, Krishna. He is not such a thing which I can make an object with myself as subject. That sort of attitude must be there. Pranipat also means that I have finished my interest in the outside world of experience. I have no charm for anything in the world where I have already traveled. I am offering myself exclusively at your altar. I want to have your grace. In such a mood, we shall approach the higher knowledge. I think it's interesting how he's saying that we surrender to the knowledge. He's not just saying we surrender to Guru, but no, we surrender to the knowledge, because that is surrendering to Guru in the deepest sense, right? We Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittite Koriya Aikya, right? So we surrender to those words, those instructions that Guru is giving us. We surrender ourselves to those words. Then pariprashna, honest inquiry, is always allowed, but not with any tendency for discussion in the way of argument. All efforts should be concentrated in a positive line, leaving aside the state of doubt and suspicion. With all attention, we shall try to understand, because it is coming from a higher plane with which I am unfamiliar and which is ever new. So it's okay if we don't understand something and if we're not able to reconcile something, but always our inquiry must be done in a submissive mood, understanding that this knowledge is coming from a higher plane, which I am unfamiliar with, and it is ever new. So shouldn't come in there with my ego, well, this is how I see things, and like that. But the most important thing is seva. Not that I'm going to get knowledge, that I shall get the help of that plane and use it for persons living here. Higher knowledge won't come to serve the interests of the lower plane, but I must pledge to serve that plane. I'm not going to get that knowledge to serve the interests of the lower plane. No, I must pledge to serve that plane. With this attitude, I shall approach that plane and that knowledge. I shall serve him, and I won't try to make him serve me or my lower plane. That idea won't allow me to enter that domain. Rather, I shall have the fullest tendency that if I get that knowledge, I must serve. I must offer myself to be utilized by him, and I shall not try to utilize it in my way to satisfy my lower animal purposes. With seva vritti, with service mentality, I shall seek the plane of real knowledge, to have the standard from there of what is to be understood, and to have a proper estimation of the environment we are in. Pranipatena, pariprashnena, and sevaya. This is Vedic culture. These are all in the instrumental case, right? So, by surrender, by submissive inquiry, and by service. It is always imparted by this submissive process, and never by an intellectual approach. Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada used to give this analogy. The honey is in a bottle, and the bee is sitting on a glass, trying to lick the bottle. Some foolish person may say that the bee is licking the honey. In the same way, the intellect cannot approach spirit. I may think that I have got that by such an approach, but is it possible? So theoretical knowledge is no knowledge, really, isn't it? A barrier is there, like a glass barrier. Intellectual understanding is not real achievement of higher knowledge or the higher plane. Only through faith, sincerity, and dedication can we approach to be a member of that higher plane. Oh, there's an article we've read a few times here, called, I think it's called Faith, Sincerity, and Dedication. Only if we are admitted, if we get the visa, then we can enter that country, the plane of higher divine living. The candidate shall approach with these three qualifications: pranipat, pariprashna, and seva. Then he can approach the truth which which is the higher plane of reality. It is always found in the Gita that we should approach with this sort of attitude of humility, sincerity, and dedication. Did I put this on my website? Because there's an article, he has a really nice point on this topic. It's from an article called Shraddha. What was it? Anyways, let's continue on. Do we have enough time to read this? I think so. I think we could read one more. Let's see how long it is. Oh yeah, it's short. Okay, we can read it. Well, it says 1 minute left in chapter. Yeah, I think we can do this one. Okay. This is our last one for today. This is Bhagavad-gītā 5:29. This is the 11th drop of nectar. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantam richati. One attains peace by knowing me to be the original enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme controller of all the planets, and the benefactor and friend of all living beings. Okay. Or actually, maybe we should end here, because I'm going to go, I think we'll go over time, actually. It's been becoming a habit, like where you go over time every day. So I'm going to just find that article that I was mentioning, though. That will be a very short thing. Let's see. I'll just find which issue of Raise the Harmonist it was in. Author, Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Mahārāja. Here. Oops. Okay, so surrender, service, and dedication. Okay. It is number 9, winter 2001. Okay. Number 9, winter 2001. Here. Okay. Here. So I really like this point that he makes. Let's see. Oops, I lost my spot. There. Okay. In Krishna consciousness, the quality of wholesale dedication is necessary. It is indispensable. Partial dedication will not do. In connection with Krishna, the demand is wholesale, and nothing less will do. He is an autocrat. The demand from the autocrat is categorically different. Krishna is not satisfied with any partial service. He wants to swallow the whole thing, nothing less. He has the demands of an autocrat, but he is the absolute good. He is the beautiful. He is the harmony, and he is the love. But his demand is such. Self-giving is a symptom of Shraddha, of faith. Without self-giving, intellectualism will have no value. Reading scriptures will have no value. And also the physical association of the sadhu will have no value if there is no Shraddha. Many living entities, including bugs and mosquitoes, have physical association with the sadhus. But association through dedication is necessary. Shraddha is all important. To have Shraddha means to have the mood that if we dedicate everything to Krishna, we will get everything. We will achieve whatever is necessary. Wholesale fulfillment. The path of that is dedication, Shraddha, and seva, service. And therefore, our Guru Maharaj laid so much emphasis on service. We were not allowed so much to read even Śrīmad Bhagavatam or the books by the 6 Gosvāmīs, but our time was to be utilized in service. The serving nature will connect you with the real thing. Neither scriptural knowledge nor the close association with a saint has any meaning if it is not done with dedication, self-surrender, self-giving. Physical association alone has no meaning. It must all be done through Shraddha and service. So much so that if a sadhu or guru asks, read this book, then it will be service. But if I read a book to enhance my knowledge, it may be gyan, but not service. We can only have real progress through sevon mukhe hi jivadhau. Otherwise, everything may be imitation. If we do not approach with the spirit of service, everything may be imitation and we won't come in contact with reality. This is the most important point, and it is the speciality of the Gaudiya Math, our Acharyas, our Gurudevs, and also of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Gosvāmī. Jai. All right, so there's more on that topic. So that is our program for today. It's now almost 8 o'clock, so we'll end and continue reading tomorrow, this wonderful book. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Saparshaji Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopikan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Nityal Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai, Jai Śrīmad Bhagavad-gītā Ki Jai, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Arjuna Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavascha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Champak Mataji, and all the devotees watching on YouTube and Facebook, like Ganga Mataji, Amit Dandekar, Shripad Bhaktiranta Sajan Maharaj, Vidyalala Siddhidi, Jaydev Prabhu, Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, and all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jaydev Prabhu, Ananda Pradayani, Krishna Rose, Vrinda Didi, and everybody else.
Jai. Madhukar, Hare Krishna. Yes, I was here. You didn't hear me when he said Hare Krishna. When he said Hari Bol to you.
Oh,
like you're one of the highlights of our day every day. So just wanted to let you know. Yes, I'm here. Thank you for reading for us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dhanavas to all the devotees.
Dhanavas to everyone else.
Raja Maharaj. Aivarta Prabhu.
I'm always grateful
Ruchira, Dr. Ruchira.
I'm always grateful for your encouragement, and it's also a highlight of my day, being able to read with all of you. Otherwise, I just when I don't do it, every time I don't do the reading in the morning time, my day's just like really bland and dry, and something feels missing. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Well, thank God for that.
Right. So see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Is there anything else anybody wants to mention before I end the stream? Okay. Jai Ho. Hari Bol.